Okay. All right. Welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. We're going to talk about Bounty 41 and the TLC, the new calendar, the new CM diary, whatever else, whatever else we have. Let's say hello to everybody. Magic Mike.
Hi, and I think I'll start every show on mute from now on.
Yep. Newly vaccinated Magic Mike.
Newly vaccinated, yes.
Yeah, yep. So he's going to be out at all.
One down, one to go.
He's going to be out at all the sex clubs all week now.
You
So, all right. And speaking of which, Derpy?
I'm not sure how that's speaking with, but I mean, I'll roll with it.
Okay. And KB?
G'day.
How's the morning treating you?
Oh, yeah, not too bad.
Very good.
Quiet.
Okay. Well, I guess that can be a good thing. So let's move on to see what we got to see. Bug fixes again. Everything is A-okay in the world of Battle Pirates. So let's. There we go. It's more stunning in real life.
It is.
I don't even remember seeing that option when I looked it up. The black with the white handle. I think it's sexy.
Yeah.
I gotta put the mask on it though.
I was going to say you should put it on the other side. You should have the masked one.
Yeah, we don't know. This is Cryptos, so we don't know if the other side has the mask on it. So, or the 2020 version or the Christmas version.
Oh,
they might all be out there as collector's items. I'm not sure. The one of, but this is what it looks like in reality. So,
what don't you get for them on eBay?
I don't know, or one of the other auction sites,
Yeah.
So the link is in the right-hand side in case anybody'd like to join. We have room for a couple more, so let's get going.
Wowzer.
I guess this works well enough. I was doing some last-minute calendar coming together because we're well, next week we have Pillage and the Cyberstrike TLC and the Return to Honor. Cyberstrike is for the Photon, and then the other one is for the Return to Honor is for the what's the last ship we used?
The one I have listed right there next to it.
Oh, okay. The Ronin.
The Ronin? Well, it's not the same one, but
yeah.
It's the Ronin.
Okay, then we have the Raid with Hold the Line. What's that one?
That is Gatekeepers along with some structure, some turret build tokens.
Okay, that's the one that has the 3 days at the end?
I thought, yeah, 3 days.
Yeah, 3 day, and you can claim it however many times. For those people that need to upgrade their their turret, their defense platforms at this point. With the new OP. Then we have after that we have the new FM, which we will get we have Assault next, right? The Assault are most likely. I'm sorry, I'm reading both of them. It is confusing. I meant to have it as a pop-up. Titan Rising, Mega, Shadow and Flame. That's for the one of the Conquerors.
The Hellswarm?
Hellswarm, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm reading the left one just because it's larger font. But I'll read yours. And the 182 is going to get replaced, and we assume the 183, but it could be the 184. You never know.
Yeah, they like to keep us on our toes.
Yeah, very true. because we had that issue with the 170. Bounty 42, as we're going to learn, is not for the Defender, which is good news, at least probably for me and Mike. I don't know about the rest of you, but it'd be nice to have a new Defender that's not coming out in Bounty. But well, I'm sorry, I'm teasing ahead. And High Ground, which is Everest build tokens, not upgrade tokens, Creeping Barrage for the Trencher. And normally we have some sort of event when we have this extra week. But March 29th, I don't know, something Easter related? I don't know. Have you got any feedback, anybody, as far as are they planning a special event, or is it going to be shipwrecks or something of that nature? Or no knowledge?
No knowledge, but I wouldn't
No
mind
knowledge.
shipwrecks.
Yeah, I know you like the shipwrecks. Okay. Alrighty. Let's move on to another calendar. Oh crap! I really fucked this one up, didn't I?
So
I'm sorry. I was making a lot of last second. Okay, that's supposed to. 1 second. All right. Could you refresh? I'm sorry about that. We were making last second adjustments, and I was finishing up the TLC before the show, and then there's some sort of riot in the Alliance crib, and ban this person, ban that person. And I'm like, no, you're all going on mute for 3 days. All right. There we go. All right, this is the new calendar. Derpy will not be reading it aloud to you because it's a little less fun to read it out loud this way. Sorry, Lego. Yeah, I could see them doing something like that, or exploding bunnies or whatever. There's a couple of problems with the calendar, even though it's released in a somewhat easier format to read. It's well, they've gotten rid of. They've made some changes, but not all the right changes. Because before they had end. Okay, ends. Okay. They're still in there. It's confusing. As far as the way it's like what ends, it's a confusing calendar to read. And does March, we still have Siegebreaker going to the 3rd? Let's see. Yeah, I guess so. That's right. Siegebreaker doesn't show up anywhere else unless they've changed it. Pillage does not last for a week. So, but what does everybody think about this? What ends is the first bullet point, and what starts is the second bullet point. It is sort of confusing to read. Anybody else have any thoughts on that? I mean, I know that me and Derpy were trying to work things through, and I was dealing with a bunch of other stuff. And I thought he was gaslighting me because I was quickly trying to read through this calendar and was messing up at every twist and turn.
Yeah, it's not the clearest. It's easy to get confused what they're trying to say, particularly with the pillages being on the 3rd and the 10th. I think, didn't I say? Yeah.
No, that's where it ends. That's where it ends. Even though it ends on the 7th, that's incorrect. But you see how it says ends. It's. I mean, either take some time to get used to, or it's just not. it's just not easy to read in my mind.
Yeah, but then on the 10th, it's talking about the February FM pillage, cyber strike, and return to honor TLC ends.
Yeah, it starts on the 3rd and ends on the 10th.
Oh, right.
But pillage is going to end on the 7th. It's correct, but you're making my point for me that it is difficult.
It's confusing.
Yes, yeah, because normally we're not used to what ends and then either two different fonts or just drop what ends, unless it's something like pillage, so people would know it ends on the 7th and not on the 10th. But whatever. But basically, all the stuff that we ran through earlier in the last calendar. So let's move forward. Again, the same thing. All right. Okay. No, fine to go ahead.
Okay. I thought you said again, and then I thought you were making another statement.
Okay. All good. We have the word on reclamation, which is going to occur on the 10th. We're getting a new defender hall, which I'm glad about. In the raid, the Badger, as opposed to happening, because I love the fact that I love it when defense stuff shows up in PvE. Offensive PvP stuff shows up in bounty or something like that, because it allows players that basically just do PvP to sort of protect their dock and protect their base without having to go and hit bases. So is somebody not using like a headset or something? Because I keep on hearing myself back. But we also have the grinding Gatling gun and the zip drive Y. So, and the Saw Factory is going to get a new trap. So, any thoughts on any of this?
I just wonder what we're getting in the Bounty 42 then.
Maybe more of the power transformers, or
I don't need more power transformers. I put my 5 in, and they were exciting to look at for 5 minutes.
Okay. And then what about the potentially a new Conqueror? Or is it too soon?
That's a good question. You got a month? I don't know.
Well, they haven't even given us the extras on the Exterminator yet.
Yeah, but if Bounty 42, because this is actually Bounty 41, if Bounty 42 a month from now just has 2 Exterminators, that's not going to be very exciting, is it? Kixeye wants people to go blitz their targets, right?
How exciting is it at the moment?
This bounty was more exciting.
A grind.
Yeah.
It's a grind with the amount of points that you've got to get to even get the minimum sort of amount of stuff.
Yeah. Although if you have 2 Exterminators, this particular bounty is on the easy side, but it's definitely still grindy.
Yeah, well, I was using 1 Exterminator with 4 Basilics, so I was doing it for pretty much instant repair, but it was taking a while.
Yeah.
Particularly,
well, try the 119 with 3 UAV Hellswarms from the south.
Yeah, I always stayed away from the 119. I always did the 122, the 109, the 112, because they all work pretty well with the Basilics.
Yep.
Okay. I remember one of your guys, something popped up in Discord. I remember one of your comments in your I can't remember which. It was a video where you were previewing the VXP target, or not previewing, but evaluating the VXP target for ramifications associated with the upcoming raid reclamation. And you mentioned something about, did they fire the art team or something of that nature?
Yeah, I think the art team has been working on the bug fixes, which explains why neither are happening.
Yes. But the CM has said we're no longer doing badges for the time being. They may come back in the future. So that adds additional credence to your statement you made in your video. So, oh, wow. At this point, should we talk about, what do you think we should talk about? Builds for reclamation, Bounty 41, the TLC. Any thoughts?
Well, I guess Bounty, we touched on that a bit, but I'll say that it's been kind of fun as far as Bounty goes for me.
Okay.
I still have a few prizes to get. I don't intend on using more than 2 of the turrets for now, so I'm not going to get more than 2 of those. I'm not going to upgrade my portals anytime soon, so I'm not going to grab that limited gate. I'll wait till it's in the raid, a month and a half from now, and that will even be early. It might not be in the raid a month and a half from now. I don't know.
Yeah. Have you built your saw factory at all, or no?
No, my outpost finished yesterday, and I have since then started upgraded 6 turrets. So I have 5 power transformers and 1 of the launcher.
Okay.
No one's hit me with that yet. And my dock has started upgrading, which means it's going to be done in time for the raid at max level, actually.
Yeah, I think mine's gonna be ready in like 4 days. So just with saved up tokens and whatnot. And I'm not even sure, because I have 4 of the reclaimers built, and I'm not even certain. I don't know. With the changes to the lab and how it's longer to build, I'm not even sure that was a good move, to be honest. We'll see how it works out at the end, but I'm just wondering that I'm going to end up with ships that are less upgraded or less built. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about that move because it's taking longer to build these same components because of the changes to the lab. Yeah, so we will see. But normally I was not spending all the tokens that we earned in these, these TLCs for the raid ships. I would always leave a bunch left over and turn that into a glut. So maybe this is, maybe it'll work out. I don't know. I haven't worked out all the math. So, because I was curious. So KB, do you have the saw factory?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Could you?
But it's only on the first level. So I've only got the two mines to distribute.
Okay, so if you went to the second level, you could put all 3 mines out there. Is that?
I've got the impression that you could put 4 out, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, I have no knowledge of it because the briefing on it was, not that informative. I'm just wondering, now that we have this anti-evade mine, is there any chance that you want to go through? I don't know. Would it make sense based on your knowledge of what's going on to do a quick screen share and sort of like walk through for people that haven't seen the saw factory to see what the capabilities are and what the sort of rigmarole, like how you do it, or is that does that not make sense?
Yeah, as long as people don't laugh at my base.
As long as people don't
I
what?
must laugh at my base.
Only Magic Mike will laugh at your bait.
Yeah, only a little bit.
Because it ain't the best.
No, but more what we're looking for is, because there's like weight constraints, and I'm a long ways away from upgrading my, building my saw factory. I have no idea how it works besides what we got in the blueprints, because like I said, because the briefing is not all that informative. So if you're up for it, I'm up for it.
Yep.
Okay.
Singing.
You want to do that now, or?
Yep. If I can find where the hell I've put SteamYard.
Are you still gonna have Google in a month?
Beg your pardon?
Are you still gonna have Google in a month?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that fight between Australia and Google had ended.
Well, it was Facebook mainly, I think. That was, both of them, but they've put legislation through to make them pay for the news stuff. So we'll see what happens. But apparently, Facebook have put the news back in their stuff. So
okay,
we shall wait and see.
Okay, all right. If you want a screen sharing moment, so we can. I'm sorry.
I think I did I?
No. Go underneath the screen, and then you have share.
Yeah, I hit that.
Share screen.
Your entire screen or applicable window?
I just share Opera GX, which is what I run as my browser. So if I close that, you don't see all my my whole collection behind there.
Right. Well, I do have Opera, but we'll see if I can get.
Well, Mike, you didn't have to, because I'm going to go back to you, Mike, but either way. Okay. In the meantime, all right. I guess we can talk about the Siegebreaker TLC. I love this TLC personally.
Yeah, if you do it exactly right, it's instant repair, and if you mess up, it's less than an hour damage, at least with an upgraded fleet.
Yeah,
I did it at a good time.
Yeah, I really like these targets. They're much better TLC targets than they are raid targets.
Oh, nice. Yep.
Because when they were raid targets, you were worried about removing all the points. At this point, you're just worried about killing the target.
Yep.
And there's some, I think, like level 5, you never need to go hit that at Center Island. You can just go around hitting the little ones and then basically have that whole thing blow up. And not even put yourself in, in real danger going into those center things with dealing with the big one, the large, unstable tanks. So I would, highly recommend taking a good look at these as you move up from the different prize packs. because it is sort of fun. I only have one more left, but I do like them. Um, but again, much better for a TLC where you're not worried about points. You're just worried about completion.
And you don't have to worry about your time so much because the 7 levels don't really take, a whole hour like some of them we were battling for time.
True. But I'm more thinking like I'm hitting these in a different way than I was before because I wanted to get some of those points because those tanks or whatever, I forget what they call them. Does anybody remember what they called them?
Fuel silos, small,
Yeah.
large silo.
Yeah, the fuel silos. When they blow stuff up, they also you don't get those points.
Take your points away, right?
Yeah,
So you to get the points away.
Yeah, which doesn't seem right. I can understand when they do that associated with like enemy ships and whatnot, where you just sit in the corner and wait for them to kill it. But this one, it seems like there's a direct cause and effect that you're causing them to blow up.
In a raid, the target's worth say 1,000 points, but you can never get 1,000 points because all you got to do is because you're always going to explode one of them.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
several hundred, maybe.
It's a tiny bit more complicated than that.
Okay.
It's usually like 1,200, and they tune it for you to be missing. They tune it for you to blow that up, so you can drive it and get over the listed value, but if you do a lot of exploding, you're going to get way under most of the time.
I withdraw my statement then.
It's really close, but
okay.
Well, but I'm saying in the TLC, I maximize that. That's what I'm saying. I never like on 5. There's a couple of them where I don't even go into the center island because you can stack up those smaller fuel silos, and those explosions blow up the larger ones and take out like in 5. It takes out the center island. And other, and that's basically what, I look at it as far as how to get the small fuel silos with minimizing my exposure to accidentally walking into the large fuel silo death zone.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, I got clobbered by a couple
I got
of them.
caught. Yeah, I got caught there once where I just couldn't get out of the way. I think I was clicking in the wrong spot because it wasn't moving, and bang, like almost 2 hours repair.
Okay. KB, I'm going to go to you.
Oh, right, it came up. That's good.
Yep.
There's my saw factory.
Okay. So you have the anti-ship.
So that's the 2 that I've got. So you can start building.
Are you at the point where you can start building them at this point with other builds going on? Like if you're upgrading your dock?
Yeah. It's like the rockets. It's the same as building the rockets. It doesn't matter whether you got something else building. You can still.
Okay, because I know for the first couple of days that was the case.
Yeah, well, as you can see, it's 10,000 energy and 10,000 titanium, and 3 hours for the anti-ship mine.
Okay.
And the hibernation mine is 6 hours, so it's 10 and 30.
Okay. Well, and we've seen this weight. The anti-ship mine weighed 10. This one weighs 20. Where do you see inside of this, like how that matters? Okay.
So I've got 3 anti-ships stacked and 1 hibernation, obviously.
Okay. Well,
that's 30 of 50, and I've only got the 2 slots open, so.
Could you click that trap loadout button? Okay.
So I've got to upgrade to unlock more slots. So as far as I can guess, if I upgrade it, I'll open up 2 more slots.
Okay. And as far as what I know at this point, you can only upgrade to level 2 at this point. Level 3 is some point in the future.
Yeah, that I don't know. I haven't looked at upgrading it because I got something else building, I think.
Okay.
Oh, they are 12 days, 14 hours, and 24 minutes.
Yeah.
To upgrade.
That's surprising. Dropping a Orion 5 rocket at a big silo in 6 and 7, and it works great. I mean, let's get back to that in a second, because I did run into a level of confusion in Prize Pack 7 because there is a thrower hidden in the right-hand side where it made me feel like I needed to kill all of the large fuel silos. You don't need to. It was just that the way that this target is created, it looks like you need to kill everything because I'm like, it looks like you've killed everything. You push the S button and it goes to the silos. And that's what I thought was going on the first time I did it. And then I realized there's a thrower all the way at the right-hand side. It's like mixed. It's camouflaged.
Yep.
And that opens up the door to do it. So
that same problem. We couldn't find. I said I should be done with this target, and it's still got time on this stupid thing. I can't find the last one. That's what it was.
Yeah, same thing happened to me. I had one turret that was nearly all the way killed, but when you hit S, it took me to the silos rather than the turret that needed to be killed. I had to look at the little map on the bottom and see that there was still a red dot. So that
that's a good point.
Led me to where I had to go, but
Okay.
Yeah, the silos don't show up red, so that's good.
Yeah, Kraken, do you want to go to your screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because the show that I've got some built up there.
Okay.
So they're just waiting on if I happen to lose a fight, then they replenish automatically.
Okay.
As long as you've got them built.
As long as I got some stacked up there.
Yeah,
So.
If you lose, they'll take one out of your stored number. If you win, you don't lose them.
Right.
But you can. Okay, does this weight go away when you place them on the water, or is this weight only?
You can carry. As you see, I'm way over as far as the weight. 50. 50 only applies for how many's on the water.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that does make sense because you would have 90 plus 160, so you would have 250.
Right.
Right. But you only show 30 because you only have
One of each out.
One. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense now. Is there anything else you think we should know about the saw factory?
They have corrected where you can't put these out without having while you're upgrading something else. So they have corrected that.
Okay.
You can set your load out without, because before when they first started, if you were upgrading something, you couldn't put it on the map.
The only other thing is the hibernation mine has double the footprint of the anti-ship mine.
Oh yeah, that's huge. It's like over like almost 3 squares, like 2 and 2.
Yeah, so you need a bigger space. If you want to put it in your channel, you got to widen your channel from the normal 2-tiled width.
That's what she said, right?
Yeah, put in some more stuff, widen your channel, something like that.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, because I did see stuff early on as far as from the base planner that it was like the hibernation mine was the size of several ships, and it was, but I guess but that's not the trigger range. That's the placement range. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it possible with a 2-wide channel to sneak by either one of these mines?
Well, certainly the hibernation mine, unless you've got it placed reasonably sort of to stop them. But the other ones, yes, if you've got a wide channel, the anti-ship mine, it's only a sort of a 1-tile width.
Okay, could you scroll over it so we can see what the, because I haven't seen the blueprints. Could you click on Kraken Duck? Could you click on the anti-ship mine? Will it show us the stats? Okay, so it shows a range of 20, a trigger range of 120, which is supposed to be 12. So you need to, so if you had a 2-wide channel, which is the smallest that you can have, and you place it right in the middle, so it's going to go 12 to each side. It's only 24 in theory. Again, I'm just asking these questions because I don't have them and I don't know. So that's only 24. It seems like you might be able to sneak by.
Well, the thing is, you can't see them.
Okay, even with like sonar and thermal and all that stuff, you can see them.
They don't show up as far as I know. Like one of Derby's things when he was hitting the 112 or something like that.
Yeah, it would have been that one.
That has the mines in it. That has 2 mines, and there's no way known, or certainly not with the exterminators, that you could see them, and I'm pretty sure none of the other ships can see them either. So basically, you're doomed to run over them unless you're horribly bloody lucky.
Or you've hit the base before and you saw where it was.
Well, the only way that you find out where it was is when you set the bloody things off.
Yeah, so if you hit it once and fail, you can come back a second time when you coin your fleet and.
Exactly. Well, it doesn't kill your fleet regardless, unless you're using gunboats. But
yeah, like I hit your base and I fail in it. Now I know the mine's there. So the next time I hit you.
Yeah, you try to be a bit careful, but you still got to figure out exactly where it is.
Okay.
You only get a sort of a general idea of where it is. You don't, because the first thing you see is when either your health goes down or you get the little explosion of the white ice.
I guess I got to start recording my base hits just so I can watch them back, which is something I used to do. But speaking of base hit, I'm in a base right now, and I ran over some mines.
Okay. I know it wasn't my base because I don't have any mines.
Now, it's someone named Vengeance with a capital E at the end.
Yeah. So we move our mines around regularly. Mines are mines, it's a whole different,
My mind will be moved around when it's when I feel like it.
Yeah, that could go either way, Dynamite. I could see positives for both. So, yeah.
See, the hibernation mine, you probably don't want to be moving around that much, because the idea is to have it placed in such a spot that when they set it off, they're under a lot of your guns. So you don't want to be moving that all over the shop, otherwise it's sort of pointless having it there.
Yeah, the best spot's still the best spot.
Exactly.
That's what she. Could you, Kraken Duck? Could you scroll over it so we can see the stats?
Yeah.
So we know because it's creating a the way I read this, it's creating for 30 seconds. It's creating a aura around the source of explosion that reduces combat speed by 50. Reduces modifier by plus 8 seconds, which means I don't know if I want to get too much detail on that one, because it's
Does that mean it's a 2-second increase or 8-second increase?
We've gotten different answers over time because we've only seen this. This is the second or third time we've seen this.
Well, if you sit in it, nothing much happens firing wise. That's basically the short story on it.
Yep.
So really, the only option is you back off out of it, and at least that way you can kill something else until the ice field goes away.
Yep.
Yeah, but if you're caught in it,
Well, you can still move,
yeah,
but it just means you move a bit slower. So
yeah,
so where it's placed should theoretically mean that you're under a fair few guns. So if you keep going, you're probably going to die. So probably the best thing is to try and back off out of it until the ice field disappears. Once that disappears, then everything's hunky-dory and you can you have your normal reload and everything else.
okay. So it's basically the main thing it's doing is
slowing you down for 30 seconds, basically.
I looked at
Slowing
it
you down, cutting your range in half.
I'm looking at it a different way. Is that it's cutting your combat speed and turn speed to keep you in there longer, to keep your range at negative 50%. Because this combat speed and turn speed is keeping you inside of this 50 range longer in order to cut your range in half. And does anybody know how that, does that range start at the beginning? So if you have all these specials and your range is 160, is it cutting it back to 80, or is it the base?
That's a good question. I haven't been using many range buffs on many of my conquerors recently.
Okay. So, I don't know.
Well, it'd make sense that it'd cut half your range in half, wouldn't it?
Hey, we would make a lot of things have gone on in this game.
Yeah, I know Kixeye doesn't make a lot of sense, but
you could compare. It would make sense if or hold my beer. It's a combination of the two, as far as like what you would expect after playing the game for years and what actually happens. They're not always the same. Hey TSM, how are you doing?
Hey guys, how are you?
Pretty good.
TSM.
Hi, buddy.
Do you agree with that as far as what you expect in the game and what actually happens?
I will say the mines, I think, have broken the game, actually.
Okay, how so?
Because they're a nightmare, basically. Especially, yeah. I mean, if you're smart enough where you place them, then the attacker is having a hell of a time. Put it that way.
Okay.
Simply because you said half the range. Yeah, it reduces their overall range by half. It obviously reduces their turn speed and forward combat speed, and then from that as well, obviously that other stat that no one understands either. But the point is, if you position it in such a way that they're already inside, and we all know the mid-range / long-range turrets don't really do a great deal anyway because they charge past them. Not with one of these in the way. If you suck them into an area and then this goes off and they're going to either try and turn around or run through it, they aren't going to make it. You just can't get out of it, especially if you've got one of these followed by another one of these. They don't get past them. The whole fleet dies. They are devastating.
Okay.
Absolutely devastating. I've been hit with quite a few good-sized fleets in this bounty, and those mines are a nightmare.
You've been hit with quite a few good-sized fleets.
Yep, I've had 10 hits over bounty, from all
I haven't made it once.
players above 650 medals, most of them.
Well, I'm at 490, so.
So yeah, it's interesting. I have to say, you know, I mean, there are the little sort of like corrosive one. It's fun, you know, and it's good to put in the back end. So if they do manage to sneak around with one ship, then you can, you know, it does eat the last little bit away. But yeah, the hibernation mine is proper nasty, you know, and there's no getting away from it. You know, I wouldn't say it lasts 30 seconds though. I don't think it lasts that long, you know. I've tried to watch it a couple of times on replay, and that's not ideal. But I did watch a live one as well, and from the second it triggered to the second it disappeared, it didn't seem to be 30 seconds, unless the ice field dissipates away, and then obviously it still has the effect. But that'd be a bit naughty, wouldn't it? Because people would be assuming that it's all gone away and that sort of stuff, but then it hasn't. So.
Well, you wouldn't put that past Kicks either, would you?
I don't put anything past anybody, but based off of experience from what I've watched, when the ice field disappears, their ship seems to speed up again. You know, for those that try and turn tail
once the ice field's gone, it seems to be back to normal.
I mean, the only benefit I think you gain is obviously because of the footprint it takes up in the channel, it's almost obvious where they are.
Yes.
But then that doesn't really help, because when you look at everything else that's in the channel as well, you go, right, I've got to get through that. But to get through that, I've got to get through X, Y, and Z, you know, at level 5, you know, portal with a Bastion 2 against it. Well, if one of those is just in front and you cut the range by half, and they've got to crawl towards it and they can't even fire at the darn thing anymore, you know, you are adding multiple effects on top of mid-range turrets. Yeah, exactly. On top of mid-range turrets, on top of, you know, a couple of close-range turrets. I mean, even things then like, you know, the decimator turrets then are going to outrange you, you know, for that whole duration. And you're not going to last 30 seconds under a decimator turret at half range. You've got no chance. It's just not going to happen. I literally think the mines have broken the game. I really do. You know, it's gone back to, once people are getting back to their bases and they get this stuff in there, it's going to go back to a defense. They're going to have some monstrous great tier 10, you know, Conqueror fleets to be able to get through these bases, because I think it's back to sitting in your base and letting people go, haha, you failed personally. Within 3 months, everyone will be in the same situation again. That is a daily player but doesn't want a coin sort of stuff. You know, unless some horrendous, you know, we've got another defender ship coming in, haven't we, as well? So, you know, at the moment, I can only say I don't need it. And I'm not sure what purpose it is. The new turret I don't need, you know, the one that's in Bounty at the moment, don't see the point of it. I don't need at the moment another hull. You know, look, I'm not stopping everybody, but I am at the moment in this Bounty, and it's only because I managed to get a fourth mine in, you know, and put it in a strategic place, and it's really causing some trouble.
Yeah, well, if you're able to place 4 of them, that sort of makes it a bit easier.
But they're only getting they're not even getting past 2 of them. That's the point. I've still got 2 in reserve, plus 2 more Bastion walls, plus another, you know, sub and that sort of stuff, and plus another set of 2 turrets if they go and get past yet, and they haven't even made it that far. You know, and I'm not bigging it up. It's not about bigging it up. This is about saying I think the game is actually broken. I think they've made the mines too strong. You know, I mean, it's early days yet, and a lot of people haven't got them in. I know that, but literally, we'll be back to the same situation where everyone's just going to sit in their bases and no one's going to hit them again. I think this pendulum's going to be swinging massively the way, but that's my view anyway.
Well, I did come across your opponent that already had him in, so Bastion well too. So
yeah, I did as well. Yeah, and some of the bases today, obviously, with exactly that. I came across 2 of the you know, opponents' bases that are sitting around the SSRBs, and I thought they were taken from a snapshot from last month, but obviously they must be quite fresh because they had Bastion 2 walls in some of them.
Yeah, the 112 I think was the one that's mainly got all the.
I don't mean the Kickside bases. I mean the other bases.
No,
Right. Your opponent ones,
which are supposed to be updated live.
Oh right, well they must be live because the other day there was Bastion 2 walls and portals in some of them.
Okay,
On level 5 portals.
Because you get lucky at times because they're like busted.
Yeah, well, they're copies of player bases, aren't they? So if the player updates their base, well, whatever they update it to sticks.
Yeah.
The funniest thing to do is go around and try and hit anything below the level of 100 because that's the one normally the ones that say "fu" and that sort of stuff. So I've been going around taking pictures today because I've done my bounty. I've finished what I need, so I've just been going around getting funny base pics.
Yeah, or they've recycled everything and there's just the outpost and bugger all else.
There is some funny stuff out there. If you want to do something amusing, some people are quite creative. Obviously not creative enough to stay in the game, but they're definitely creative to create an amusing base before they leave.
Anything more creative? There's a lot of penis ones. Is there something else there?
FU kicks.
The classic FUs are out there and that sort of stuff, But there are some sort of like swastikas and all sorts of weird things out there. There's some interesting stuff.
Okay.
People someone took an effort. I saw one earlier on. Someone took an effort to actually do all the different levels of walls so you could spell out words in different colours. I thought to myself, that must have took him ages. Maybe he was just burning off res or something. I don't know. But I thought to myself, you actually spent all that effort on those walls to get them that colour so you could either. What a waste of time! You may have just done your base.
Yeah, there's a lot of OCD people in this game.
Yeah, that includes me, I think. All my walls have to be exactly lined up. I hate it. I can't stand it if they're all facing the wrong way. It kills me. But that's just my way I tick. That's part of my job. I don't like mess.
Oh, good. Is there anything we should be showing at this point that we haven't shown so far?
I don't know, mate. I like the fact that Bastion walls are done with base parts. I think that's great idea.
Oh, okay. So the Bastion, the next level,
base parts.
If you've already spent the 18 days of build time in order to get your portal to the right level, you can use base parts for the rest of it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. And did everybody notice that when they fit that new power thingy on that turret, you can actually put a weapon on it as well? Not a very big one, mind, but you can put a weapon on it.
Yeah, I can't fit my harpoons on, which I'm disappointed by. But what were you putting on there? I tried a victory mortar.
I've got an arc missile level 1.
Nice. I can do a bombard.
I'll show you. Hang on.
Okay, because it shows. Because they're at the max power, so what is it showing? Okay, I'm
at the max power unless you put on some solar panels.
Oh, okay, you're putting solar panels. Okay,
there you go. So one thing I did notice this tower is. So look at that. So when you do build.
Anyone else not hear TSM or just me?
I don't hear him.
I can't hear him.
He just stopped in mid.
He's not in mute, so but basically,
so that's what it is with the new transformer, 4 solar panels and 4 of the solar armors. That's quite a bit there. So you have leftover 750 power for whatever weapon you want to throw in there.
Yeah. So okay. All right. We lost him. So, hey, Crypto, how are you doing? Whoops.
Not bad. Yourself?
I'm doing okay. Let's see. I need to rearrange some people. Nope. People are coming in.
I can show similar thing he was looking at there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to rearrange people, and but keep on talking while I'm trying to figure out what to do here.
Well, he was saying we have a total of 750 power left over after you put the new transformer on, and all the new stuff that you've added onto it. So the little Arc One is 674. So
Yeah, that's I guess the most useful thing we could possibly put on there is a Bombard 4, but that's not even very useful.
no, not at this point. I don't know if anything else
Okay.
really has anything down there.
Yeah, they've changed some of the things. I think no, it's all good. Never mind. I'm on you at this point, Kraken Duck.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if there's anything else that has around 750. I don't think there is. Everything has more power than that. Anything else would have to be the research level. Because even these guys are bigger than that.
Yeah. But they're not going to do anything either, anyways, right?
Right.
So what's the point in trying to like stuff them on there because they're not really, unless they have a special ability.
It's only there to make them look menacing.
You want to do it just because you can. That's the answer.
I just put the Howie 1 so I don't get that exclamation point over my,
You don't get the exclamation point if you have a weapon on or off. It's not there.
Right.
I did a while ago.
I'm looking at my turrets right now, and they are not yelling at me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, see, mine.
Go ahead.
Mine
Historically, you did.
Historically, you did, but with these power transformers, you don't.
Okay.
Peter said he'd work on that.
Okay, so it's a change in the game. So, what do these things remind everybody of? It's sort of like the alien.
I don't think it's PG-13.
Well, I was going
sci-fi. It's like something sci-fi, isn't it?
I was going for like the alien pods.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was thinking
something out of Doctor Who.
I don't know if I've watched enough. I was just going more like the alien pods. You're gonna walk across them, and they're gonna shoot down your mouth, and then they're next thing you know, it's coming up through your stomach.
What's the? Oh God, what's the stage show? What's the stage show with the plant that eats people? What's it called? Flipping it.
Triffids.
No.
No, are you talking about Rocky Horror Picture Show?
I think I am. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think the plant grows, they nurture it, and all of a sudden it starts leaning over and starts eating people.
It wasn't Felix. What was the name of the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Seymour.
Seymour. That's right.
It looks like that at the early stage. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's either that or an alien thing. One or the other. I watched. Is anybody a fan of the? I know I'm way behind the time. Anybody a fan of any of the X-Men movies? No, I guess I'm the only one. I watched Logan last night. Has anybody watched it?
Don't think so.
Oh well, I guess I don't want to do the spoiler alerts, but that was like the ending. Oh my God, the ending was so sad. If you, if you're a fan of it at all, because I'm not going to do the spoiler. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but that hasn't watched it. But yeah, it was. Never mind. Never mind. Go ahead. I just No, well, at the end, I mean, Professor and Wolverine both died, and I'm like,
oh really? Oh right, didn't know that.
Okay. Yeah. So I was like, that was sort of unexpected, but it was sort of expected because they're both, he doesn't want to play Wolverine anymore, and yeah, he's getting, he's like 80. How old is
Patrick.
damn it, I want to call I want to call him John. I wanted to call him Jean-Luc Picard, but
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, yeah, he's got to be 80, right?
Yeah. I think he's getting a bit of Parkinson's as well. Bless him. So.
Well, that's all. That's part of the plot.
Oh, is it? All right.
That he has either Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, and he is creating these like energy fields that are, when he's not taking his meds, like the whole city block is not able to move because his powers are taking over. It's interesting, but it was still the same.
1940.
Go ahead, Crack and Duck.
July 13th, 1940.
Oh, is when he was born.
Yep.
Okay. So 81.
81.
Yeah. Well, 81 and
In July.
Change.
yeah. So
Damn good actor though.
no, he creates what do you want to call it? He creates a something around him that's
An aura?
yes, an aura. Yeah, an aura Kappa 3. But yeah, he creates an aura around himself, and I do like it. And it was sorry. I felt sad that they killed him off at that point in time. I mean, they could always do a prequel, and he comes back, but I don't think that's going to happen with either Wolverine or. I don't think it's going to come back either way, to be honest.
Well, they've made their money out of the bloody series, haven't they?
Well, now they're bringing youngsters into this. They're bringing in other people, so it's not really.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is Jackman and Stewart. They've made their money out of it.
Yeah, they've made their money, but I think at this point it's sort of because they've made, I mean, how much do you get paid to being on? Has anybody here been on Star Trek Next Generation? He was on that for fucking 150
forever.
years.
Yeah. Him and Will Riker.
Mm-hmm.
And Deanna Troi. I never watched it, but
You never. No, okay. But he was on there for forever, so I guess the money's probably not the same. But yeah, that
was what made his name anyway. So
well,
it's like all these things, you start off doing it for nothing, and then as it gets popular, they keep upping the money. You start off at 100,000 an episode, and then all of a sudden you're on $1 million an episode.
Yeah, but he's at that point. He's at that point in his life where it doesn't that kind of money probably doesn't matter unless he's
it always seems to be the way, though. The more money you get, the more you want.
Well, it depends. If he had the same wife the whole time, that's a different thing. If you understand what I mean. If he had I'm not even sure what girl to say. Derpy, who's the young hot girl at this point that would take all your money if
Mrs.
you were
Trump?
Yeah. We'll go with Ivanka Trump. If she wasn't my daughter, I'd be dating her.
Yes, that really wasn't where I was going.
That's so dodgy.
Yes. No, I wasn't going for Trump, but as far as
nah, she fits the list. If you're into the crowd, it's gonna be up there.
Okay, are we gonna create a poll as far as who's hotter, Ivanka or Melania?
That's a difficult one.
Both put a hole in your wallet.
I'd agree and say they're both high maintenance. So there we go.
Assuming that it was the same investment cost.
Yeah, not my cup of tea, either of them, to be honest.
Okay, all right, all good. But yeah,
I think they'd sooner stab you than anything else, to be honest. Both of them, they got that look about them.
yeah. I mean, even though
I'm more of a Don Jr. type myself.
All right. Do you want to explain further?
No, I don't.
You just want to leave it as like I'm a Don Jr. guy.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Alrighty. Now that we've had that, is there anything else we should be discussing?
No, not really.
Okay.
Well, I just want to say Patrick Stewart. Obviously, he's got 23 Golden Globe wins and 54 nominations. That's not bad, is it?
No.
Pretty decent.
No.
And more films like an even list. There's just hundreds of the damn things. So
Yeah. No. He's done really well. And
Grammys and yeah, he's done all right.
Is it Grammys for music?
He's got Grammys. He's got all sorts of stuff, isn't he? So I mean, obviously he's a West End thespian mostly, isn't he? So
Okay. What is a West Ender? Because, when I was like 12 years old, I liked the song "West End Girls" by the Pet Shop Boys. I probably have no idea.
It's not quite the same thing.
Well, you called him a West Ender. I'm assuming it's the same.
So the London West End,
same West End, right?
the London West End. I'm
Theatre
talking about
district, isn't it?
the theatre. Yeah, the theatre stuff. So he's a Shakespearean, put it that way. So studied Shakespeare.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with the West End Girls.
Not quite, no.
Okay.
But quite funny. Though.
In case anybody wants to look that up on YouTube, that's you'll understand what I'm talking about. So, alrighty. And should we go to the after show?
Might be a good idea. I think we already had.
It's all good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for showing up. We'll be back on Wednesday, and God knows what we'll be discussing. Probably the new and improved calendar, because this one's not great. And take care, and thank you for showing up, and we'll see you then. Later, people.
Have fun all.
Hooroo.
Bye.